Dr. Jill Biden stood at the podium, smile tight as piano wire, delivering what was supposed to be a routine introduction for the new White House initiative on mental health and addiction recovery. The cameras were rolling live on every major network. 47 seconds into her remarks, she did the unthinkable. "And now," she said, voice crisp, "I am proud to yield the floor to our next speaker." Broken bar actually. Number. Upon reflection, we've decided to move in a different direction today. Mr. Kennedy, thank you, but your time is up. Security will escort you out. A collective gasp rippled through the room. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., already halfway to the podium in his Navy suit and trademark gravel road voice, stopped dead. Secret Service agents appeared at the edges of the marble floor like ghosts materializing. The feed cut to a stunned CNN anchor for half a second before snapping back. 49 seconds. That's how long it took. Kennedy didn't move at first. He looked at the First Lady, really looked at her, the way a man looks at someone he once believed shared the same heartbreak. His sister, his brother, his cousin, her husband, all lost to the same demons the initiative claimed to fight: addiction, mental illness, overdose. He had buried more family than most people have at their wedding. Then he did something no one in that room will ever forget. He reached into his inside pocket, pulled out the small, worn photograph, and held it up to the live microphone still clipped to his lapel. "This," he said, voice trembling but unbreakable, "is my nephew, Sayers Kennedy Hill. She died at 19. Fentanyl. She weighed 89 pounds when they found her." 89. The room went corpse quiet. You could hear the flags outside snapping in the December wind. Jill Biden's face flickered, something raw and maternal breaking through the polished mask, but she didn't speak. Kennedy took one step closer to the podium she still occupied. Not aggressive, just inevitable. "You want to talk about moving in a different direction?" he continued, barely above a whisper now, yet every syllable carved into the marble. "My family has been trying to move in a different direction since 1963. We keep getting dragged back by the same people who smile for the cameras and then silence the ones who actually lost something." A single tear slid down the First Lady's cheek. She didn't wipe it away. He turned the photo toward her, gently, the way you'd show a child a picture of someone they once loved. "She was your husband's grandniece, Dr. Biden." She called him Uncle Joe. "She used to fall asleep on his shoulder at Thanksgiving. Do you remember?" The Secret Service agents froze mid-step. No one had given them protocol for this. Kennedy laid the photograph on the podium, right on top of the presidential seal, and stepped back. "I was going to read a speech about treatment beds and funding and harm reduction," he said, "but you just showed America what this administration really thinks of families like mine. So I'll keep it simple." He looked straight into the nearest camera, eyes red but fierce. "If you're watching this and you've lost someone, if you're fighting for someone right now, if you're terrified your kid won't make it to 20, hear me, you are not alone, and you are not the problem. The problem is a system that would rather protect its narrative than protect its children." Then he did the last thing anyone expected. He walked over to Jill Biden, took her hand, gently, like a nephew might, and placed it on the photograph. "I forgive you," he said, loud enough for the mic to catch, "but Sayers can't. And neither can the hundreds of thousands we're still burying." He turned, walked down the aisle between the stunned reporters, past the frozen agents, and out the East Room doors on his own. No escort needed. The feed lingered on Jill Biden for 7 agonizing seconds. She stared at the photograph, chest rising and falling too fast, until a staffer finally rushed forward and cut the microphone. By the time the White House press office released a statement calling it an unfortunate scheduling misunderstanding, the clip had already been viewed 87 million times. Funeral directors in Ohio reported families bringing in printed stills of that photograph, laying them on caskets. Recovery centers in West Virginia hung the moment Kennedy said "You are not alone" on their walls. A mother in rural Pennsylvania who hadn't left her addicted son's bedside in 9 days told a local reporter she finally cried for the first time in months, because someone had said her boy's name out loud the way it deserved to be said. And somewhere in a quiet office on Cape Cod, an aging matriarch who has buried more than any mother should watch the footage on repeat, whispering through tears, "That's my Bobby." 49 seconds that exposed the wound America pretends is healed, 49 seconds that reminded a grieving nation it still has a voice, and one man who refused to let the door hit him on the way out, because some doors need to be left wide open, so the light can finally get in.